seems like it's a drastic lag happening here, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm live. So sorry if you all are like, what's going on? I would definitely be cutting this post. Okay. To make sure that I'm live. Okay. It looks like I'm live and it's caught up. I don't know, something happening on the back end here. I wanted to make sure everything was all in order. So sorry about the technological glitch that's happened in the front. I'm sorry if there is a lag. I will try to disconnect and reconnect in order for it to get together. But hopefully we won't have any of those problems. I notice this happens a lot anytime there has been like bad weather that happens in my area. I don't know what it is. Snowstorm, rain, if it's something with, I don't know, a freaking fire, whatever the case may be, it's always something. But I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna get off this soapbox because it's working, so I'm not going to go in too hard on my internet right now. With all of that being said, clear the table, woosah. Hello, how are you all doing today? Hopefully you are having a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you for coming in and watching this video, because as you see the thumbnail, you see the title, you know today we are going to be doing a reading on Zhao Liying. If you are not familiar with her and you are just here to support me and give me the view, first of all, thank you. But for those of you who do know Zhao Liying, I won't have to give you much of an introduction, but this is for those who don't know. Zhao Liying is one of the top Chinese actresses. She is best known for her story of Minglan. What is it? Is it the Princess Agents, and I forget the other one that she's most known for, but those are the two that comes first and foremost to mind for me when I think of her. I do love the story of Minglan. It's one of those comfort watches I always kind of go back and watch over and over again. It's a really good show. You can watch it here on YouTube with the subtitles, because you know that's the best way to watch foreign films. Don't do the dub, do the sub. With that being said, the reason why I wanted to do this reading was that I've known for a while now that she recently went through a divorce with her co-star. I forget his name, Fang Xiaofeng, I think it is. I'm just gonna say Fang because that's what I remember. I know she went through a divorce with him, and they had a child and everything like that, and it seems like as soon as they got married they got divorced, and I was expecting it to be longer than that. But I recently came across something because I was watching the story of Minglan recently, and something came up where I guess some execs or something like that is over her company, her management company or something like that, and who happens to be a close friend, I believe, of her and her ex-husband, spoke out about something, and I really didn't dive into it because I really just, you know, I hope for the best for her, because it seems like what I gather from, you know, Chinese netizens and things like that, that a lot of people seem to think that this is another song couple incident where, you know, he used her to get popular and that he was jealous because she was more famous than him and it didn't work out, and he played her and tried to trap her and all this other stuff. So let's see if this is going to be another song incident. I'm going to kind of look into what was the cause of the divorce and then what's going to be coming up for her in the future. So if you all are buckled in and ready to get into it, we will get started on the reading. But before we do, I do want to issue a few disclaimers. As you can see along the bottom of the screen here, all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. I do not say that just because I am afraid of being sued and don't want to be sued. I also say this because, as I often explain to you all, and I have said it time and time again, think of me as a spiritual translator. There are certain things that I'm going to pick up on that I may mistranslate, or, you know, I may not explain it properly. So I don't want to be sued for something just because I'm trying to get my point across, and the point of me trying to explain what I'm getting, and being sued for, you know, slandering somebody, or, you know, what they call it, libel, or whatever the case may be, all of those legal terms. It's just not worth it. I do this for fun and because, you know, it's a way for me to practice. So I don't say that just to cover my arse. The other thing is, as I stated earlier, I am a spiritual translator. I can only give you the best explanation I can at the time of me doing those readings and at the current energy that I am picking up on. Sometimes there may be intuitive hits that I get and I'll be really honing in and I'll try to explain that. But again, I have to protect myself because, you know, people are very litigious across the world, and I am not trying to be caught up in any kind of litigation. So I say that for that as well. Okay, so moving forward, use your power of discernment. If something resonates, great. If it doesn't, leave it on the table. As I said before, I just try to get what I'm picking up on, the intuitive hits that I am receiving. I am trying to relay that as best as possible and go about my business. All right, so now that I have issued those disclaimers, let's get into this reading. It's a card in here that's flipped upside down, and every single time I shuffle through here, I never see it. There we go, because it's stuck. I'm like, I see a card that's flipped over in here, and it's not. There we go, they're all in the right direction. So let's get into this. All right. Okay, let's see. I believe this one fell first. We have the Anchor. We also have Crossroads. A card that is flipped over in the deck, just to note, is the Ship. Funny, the Ship and the Anchor came out here. But I'm going to throw that back in the middle. Then we have Clouds. I'm hearing something about coming out of left field, unexpected. Okay, and this is the last card I'm going to get. I'm going to check and make sure, because I was shuffling with my eyes closed, if anything flips over in the deck that needs to be noted. And it doesn't appear to be, so we are going to move forward. Okay, so the 4 cards I have here, I pull a bit more when it's dealing with the Lenormand because they tell you a whole story. So I have the Anchor, and this is usually, what do you think of when you think about anchors? Being weighed down, something kind of holding on to you, needing to be, what do they call it? Make land whole is kind of like the other thing that's coming to mind here. And then we have the Crossroads, and it again usually speaks to me of like decisions that have to be made. You're at a point where, are you going to go left or are you going to go right? A choice has to be made. And then the Clouds here, this usually speaks to obscurity, things not being well known, not being seen, but they will be cleared away eventually, you know, clouds, storms, all of that coming in. And then we have the Rider here coming up in reverse, and the Rider usually to me speaks of messaging, a notice of something coming in, something going full speed ahead, but let's note that it is coming up in reverse here. And so to me, I wonder, because I was picking up intuitively of like something coming out of left field, something unexpected, and with this messaging card here with the Clouds, it's kind of like, okay, I'm forced to make a choice because of something that was that I was not informed of, that I didn't know about, something that I kind of feel like I'm being punished for in a sense. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to get my camera together because it's like not doing like it needs to. So yes, and the underlying energies that I'm getting here is the Owl. So again, this can be, this is probably just coming, I'm gonna issue this right now, I'm gonna say this now. This may just be coming front of mind for me right now because of the whole Holly and DDG that's going on, but this feels very similar to kind of what Holly and DDG situation is, of kind of feeling lured in and someone kind of like pulling the rug from underneath you and then trying to taint your reputation at the same time. I'm going to play this out in the blogs and make you kind of look embarrassed, or maybe it's something here about agreement about like let's not let what happened here be known. There's something, It could be one or two ways. They didn't want people to know, or it could speak to nefarious messaging or malicious messaging when it comes to like the tabloids, the blogs, the here we call them blind items. I don't know what they would call them in China, where it's kind of like they don't attach names and stuff to the person, but they give like a descriptor and then the allegation of what the person is doing or what the famous person have been accused of. And then look, we have a man here, and then the Tower. This feels very much tailored on her end. Like there was something I didn't know, some information I didn't know about this person that wasn't provided up front, and it caused a whole lot of chaos. The Tower in Lenormand is pretty interesting because the Tower doesn't speak to necessarily upheaval or chaos or downfall. It usually speaks to those institutions, and I very much think of marriage as the institution of some kind of like cultural collaboration, and it's coming up in reverse. So to me, this can speak to the divorce that happened here, and then having to go your own way. I wonder if one of them was just not ready to be married, is kind of like the energy I'm getting here. Maybe somebody was interested and happy and gung-ho to be married, but somebody else wasn't. Let's see if I can get more clarity on this here. Okay, I want to note these two that came up. I was thinking about the anchor card here. Oh. Okay, so we have Saturn dealing with wisdom, discipline, structure, time, test, ambition, difficulty, restraint, grounding, maturity. And then we have the 8th house dealing with, you see that word there, intimacy. It's coming up in reverse. So to me, it feels like there was some... And the intimacy doesn't have to necessarily translate to automatically bedroom. It could be them connecting to one another, just talking. Sometimes people here, we often like to say, foreplay starts way before you get in the bedroom or it comes time to the sexy time. It's the telling your partner you love them, the light taps on the butt, the kissing them goodbye, the making sure you're looking out for your partner. It seems like there was some kind of lack of intimacy there, or a lack of them kind of like being in alignment and showing maybe that love and respect and care for one another. So it doesn't have to exactly translate into just the bedroom kind of chemistry, but it can be just kind of like that buildup of chemistry throughout the day. And so we have the intimacy card here dealing with investments, intensity, contracts, sex, erotic capital, secrets, mysteries, obsessions, inheritance, stalking. All of that is coming up here with the anchor card. Kind of feels like is somebody kind of lacking in maturity there with when it comes to intimacy, like not knowing. And the fact that my sage started really smoking when I said that is crazy. Okay, that was way too many cards. I am going to keep this Mercury card because that's the one I felt that was about to hit the table. So, communication, something, a block in communication that is coming up here. They were not on the same page. Words, thoughts, analysis, information, learning, trade, ideas, smarts, reporting, awareness, perception, curiosity, narrative, muse, wonder. They weren't on the same page about something. And here's another thing that I'm getting, which is weird. I'm kind of like getting sold a a bill of goods or sold a bill of service, but it's kind of like somebody reneged on it. Like it wasn't exactly what you said that was in the contract. I was sold a bill of goods that I actually didn't receive. It's kind of like what's coming up for me. I'm just going to mention that because that's something that intuitively just came up for me. So somebody felt like they were sold a bill of lies, not a bill of goods. Okay, what is this? It's sticking out to the side so you all can see. Ooh, moon feelings, instinct, nurturing, gut reactions, comfort, digestion, home, family. Was somebody not being clear on... I hope they didn't just get married because she was pregnant. Do anybody know if she was pregnant before they got married? I hope that's not what this is. I feel like they are I want to say too grown, but you know, just because you're old, you know, just because you have an age where you think you should be more mature, where you would know better, doesn't necessarily mean that, because it doesn't mean that you are experienced when it comes to relationships and how things like that work out. But I kind of want to say, like, I feel like they're much too old to kind of like have that thought, like, oh, if we get married, this will work out fine. Somebody was not being emotionally fed or understood in this relationship. As you see with the intimacy card here, the wisdom, communication, and feelings. Maybe they also didn't know how to communicate to each other what they were feeling, or was afraid to communicate what they were feeling, and just decided to run headlong into this situation. There was some... I think at one point it was a point in their relationship where it was like, this, we need to talk about this, and it was never talked about. Instead, it was just kind of swept under the rug in order to kind of like, we're just gonna go along to get along kind of thing, or I'm gonna be quiet just to say that, you know, we're happy and smiling. But it's like, no, y'all need to address that. You can't sweep it under the rug. It's gonna come up again. It's gonna crop up again. Okay, we have another card here sticking out to the side. And ooh, revolution, Uranus. We have breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening, technology, reform, surprise, freedom. Somebody was feeling a little trapped there. I said that it kind of feels like somebody was ready to break away. We have the Taurus, the bombshell here. Practical, steadfast, productive, fertile, tactile, ample, blooming, solid, possessiveness, tenacious, loyal. Have there been rumors of cheating or somebody stepping out as well? I'm just asking. I don't like that we're also getting a trine and a semi-sextile as the underlying energy. I'm going to show you what the other one is, but I don't like that these two are coming up here, because usually when I see the semi-sextiles and the trine, it's usually kind of like, I almost think of like blockages where they shouldn't be. But the semi-sextile says allowing, it deals with encourages, see the potential, cycles, grows, realizes, rewards. You see here with the cycles, I kind of think of cycles as, you know, sometimes things go well, then they go bad, then they go well, then they go bad. It's kind of like you're on this merry-go-round and you want to get off and it's not quite ending. And then we also have trine here, which speaks to harmonizes, gives, rhymes, supports, indulges, enjoys. It seemed like somebody was giving their all, or felt like they were giving more in this relationship than they probably should have, and they didn't kind of like get the benefits of being kind of like the person that's giving their all. We do have Pluto here as the underlying energy, and that's the one I wanted to show you, the transformation. This is kind of like the Tower card in the Numinous Oracle, because this speaks to death, rebirth, taboos, clearings, extremes, intensity, basic instinct. Like it speaks to those kind of things. So let's see what else is going to come up in regards to this kind of like Sorry you heard my dog. He scared the crap out of me. Maybe he's not as loud on your end, but he was loud on mine through my mics. Baby, what you doing down there? You relaxing? That was a loud snort there. Scared the crap out of me though. Ooh. Let's see here. Increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. That is alluding to something some people accuse happens or imploded in this relationship. Somebody trying to use it kind of like for their own personal benefit. All of these don't count. These do not count. Sorry. I want to stop for the rose. Romance is in the air. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sorry, I keep doing that, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially are maybe like cordial with each other, or even if they possibly get back together in the future. I just kind of feel like at the time they were not on the same page. Somebody still wants to run around. It feels like. Okay, let's see what came up here. Let's look at all these cards that flew out. So this is the first one, Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. It's kind of like somebody got cold feet here. Then we have pineapple, reconciliation. We have chain of events that will affect your life. That's very much what happened. We also have butterfly, a change for the better. We also have skull, hidden secrets can harm you. And then we also have protection from negative forces beyond your control, dealing with the cobweb here. What is the underlying cards here? Excitement, dealing with the firecracker. We have the ring, a marriage will take place, either romantic or business, and that did take place. And then we have wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. And I feel very much that's what it was. Somebody was like, oh, this is obviously the next big step that I'm supposed to take in life. And once it turned out it wasn't exactly what they wanted, or it wasn't making them happy, they hit the brakes on it. I think it kind of feels like somebody had cold feet once the marriage started and was like having regret here. Unfortunately. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if infidelity was also another thing here, whether somebody believes somebody was cheating or not. But mainly it just seems like emotionally, and I would say mainly emotionally, they weren't on the same page. I don't think it was, they were aligned there. But let's see what's coming up in the future for Zhao Liying. Then we will move on. Her in the future. So we have women here. We have the tree. Crossroads again. And we have two more cards for her. We have, it was like this. Okay, yeah, so then the sun, and then, okay, so let's see. See if they all fit on here. Yeah, there we go. So we have the woman, which could be her, or it could be a collaboration with the woman. There's, something about a feminine energy coming in here. Then we have the tree, and usually the tree for me speaks to lineage, legacy, those kind of things. It can also probably go back to knowledge as well, nourishment, but it's coming up in reverse, just to note. Again, that crossroads is appearing for her again in reverse. So there's some indecision happening here. I wonder, is this her fighting or trying to weigh the scales between motherhood and career? that's coming up here, I wonder, is the issue. Maybe. And then we have the sun here that's coming up in the upright. So maybe something is going to resolve itself. Maybe it's going to work its way out. And then we also have the garden. It's coming up in reverse. I don't know if she hasn't been as social or active as before, because typically when I see the garden card, to me it usually alludes to things of like networking, connections, partying, connections, meeting up, those kind of things. I'm going to go back to the book and make sure I am reading that correctly. That is number 20. So the garden usually deals with, socializing, attending public events. So I wonder if she's going to pull back from acting, participating in community actions, active online communication, and successful networking. Either if she's going to pull back from acting, or if she's going to pull back from doing, or if she hasn't already pulled back from doing like interviews or like public events and things like that. Like she's only going to do it if it's pertaining to work. Like she's going to really limit those accesses. Because it does say the negative of this is that it could be dealing with shortcomings, excessive preoccupation, which I could see happening after a divorce. You know, you're trying to occupy yourself with work. You're trying to occupy yourself with, occupy your time in order to not think about all of the what ifs and did I miss something, the buts, the whataboutisms, all of that. I can see that being something that comes up here as well. Yeah, and they also speak of like public opinion is also another big thing. So I wonder if she's pulling back a little bit from public. Let's see what the tree says again. Let me check. Okay, yeah. So stuff dealing with family usually has something to deal with, like there's some complexities happening in your family life that may need to be straightened out or corrected in order to see things appropriately. Like there's some kind of kinks that you kind of have to work out in order for you all to move forward, or there to be kind of like a cohesive relationship is dealing with family with the tree here. So yeah, I wonder if there's something here. Again, has it been rumored that he is with somebody else, or that there was rumors of infidelity? Because the woman card could also speak to there's another party involved. I'll say that. And is that going to be a hard dynamic for her to kind of like maneuver and work through, and going to bring up public ridicule, or, you know, people trying to ask questions that she's not ready to answer because she hasn't even answered them herself, you know? Let's see if we get some more clarity. Okay, first card that comes out is the second house, dealing with assets. I'm sorry, you guys, I keep rubbing my nose. And I know you can't see it, but I am rubbing my nose because of all of this pollen that is going on. And it just feels like I have something on my nose. And I keep like pausing. Like if I'm really on camera, just like, oh my God, people see pollen or something on my nose. It feels weird. Okay, anyways, second house assets, it says material world, possessions, finance, talent, values, solidity, worthiness, wardrobe, luxuries, credit score, security, aesthetics. Something about that aesthetics and the worthiness is like really jumping out to me. Did she like take a hit to her self-esteem is the word? And then we have Pisces, the mystic, dealing with imaginative, compassion, magical, adoring, enigmatic, self-pitying, illogical, impractical, escapist, dreamy. Let's see what else is coming out here. Hold on. This fell out where I was just trying to, something about an opportunity, collaboration provides opportunity, communicates, welcomes, develops. But it's something here, it's an opportunity that she is indecisive about. And I really feel like this is, again, her career. But maybe it could also be a thing of, maybe it's something dealing with personal, but I feel like it's probably dealing with her career. Then we have, oh, it's 2 cards popped out here. And note, one of the cards here is dealing with perception or reputation. Sorry. Okay, again, I'm just rubbing my nose. So 7th house, relating, partners, companionship, best friends, marriage. Is he popping up with another woman? I mean, granted, the partnership could also be on her side of things. Like maybe she's going to have a great female co-star or something coming up. Or maybe this is going to be a co-star that's going to make her feel, what's the word? Feel self-conscious or something. What is this dealing with? But it says partnerships, companionships, best friends, marriage, social awareness. Something dealing with social too. Like the public. Why is she trying to like hide out from it though? Is she gonna pop out with somebody new? I'm not like getting a bead on this. I'm not like picking up on anything exactly. But then we had 10th house reputation coming up in reverse. Remember this came up in reverse behind the 7th house here. And this deals with career responsibilities. I said it feels like it's something dealing with her career. It's something about a female entity or energy that is not going to be the best for her, or is going to make her question her, maybe her spot in Hollywood or Chinawood, however people want to say it. It's probably something here that's also going to challenge her self-esteem. And maybe she's going to feel like she needs to step away for a while, or she is going to step away for a while because there's something here where she, I don't know, maybe she feels shunned or something. I'm not sure. But again, the 10th house reputation deals with career, notoriety, fame, standing, authority figures, purpose, pinnacle, patriarchy, empire. I don't know if it's something dealing with that where people are just kind of like coming down hard on her, maybe as a new mom. I'm not sure. Or does she feel like people is judging her as a new mom? And the other card that wants to come out is Jupiter expansion. Travel, lectures, beliefs, foreign cultures, teaching, pilgrimage. That's an interesting word that's coming up there. Especially with the garden card being here as well, of like, that's usually dealing with social events, stepping out, connections and things like that. So I find that interesting that that's coming up for her. Like, again, maybe she's going to take a step back, a breath here for a second. The underlying energies, we have Uranus again with the revolution, but it is coming up the upright for her this time. And then we have Capricorn, you know, that's dealing with money all day, seriousness, authority, competent, reserved, rigid, disciplined here. And then we also have another kind of like travel card here for her, Sagittarius, the Voyager, enthusiastic, ethical, traveling, risk-taking, tactless, self-righteous, adventurous. So there's also that underlying energy happening for her as well. It kind of feels like something's going to be the catalyst for her, kind of like to acknowledge, hey, it's okay to take a beat if need be. It's okay to really find out how you feel, or I don't know, spend time with family or something like that. Like, it's okay. Or it's okay for you to just not spend time with your family right now because you're trying to make sure that you are working or being seen or something like that without being questioned. Like, it feels like something is going to be the catalyst here for her. But let's see what else we're going to get. We are dealing with the future of Zhao Liying. here we go with that Tyler again. We're dealing with solid foundation, success with effort. We also have the hat. You will be playing a different role. There's something about her job that's coming up, and I'm not getting quite the right beat on it. I can't like pin it down, but there's something here. There's some kind of dramatic shift or a big role. It feels like that's coming up, or a transformative role that's coming up here for her in the future. And I hope she takes it. I think it would be beneficial for her to take it. Then we have trouble, accusations. Again, this kind of feels like this is going back to something. I think it feels like it's going to be something caused by not her per se, but probably from her ex-husband, or in something in relation to her ex-husband, or her being a mother or something like that is going to make her kind of like hide away or feel like she has to shield from the public. That's coming up here with the frying pan, the trouble and accusations. Like people are going to put a narrative on her that probably isn't necessarily true. And even if it is, it's like, well, why would you have to even voice that and put that on me? Because I myself didn't even say that. Yeah, something coming up in November for her. Let's get one last card. And then I get 4. Great. That skull is coming up again, though. Oh my God, this pollen just has me like scratching my nose. I just hate this. We have pineapple. Oh, this is the second time we've got reconciliation for her too. I say I wouldn't be surprised if him and her reconcile, but maybe it's not him. Maybe it's somebody else she's going to reconcile with. I don't know if it's like a female friend or something like that she's falling out with. I'm just saying that because that woman card came up here. But maybe there's something here about a woman. Could be a manager, mother, friend, sister. I don't know her life. I don't know what's going on there. But maybe there's some reconciliation needed with somebody that's going to kind of like help her. And then we have skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. We have that turkey again. Someone is behaving stupidly. Oh, and the cobweb. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. That's coming up for her again. What's the underlying energies for this one? Funny enough, we get the chain, the butterfly, and the wheel again. That's crazy. Some of the same cards is coming up for her. It usually doesn't happen with me with the tea leaves. So what's going on here that this is sticking like that? This deck, look at this. This deck is too big for like the same cards to show up over and over again. Huh. We're just going to note those cards because I'm not getting the beat on exactly what they could be pertaining to. Maybe it makes sense to her if she's watching. You know, send it and share it to her if y'all do. But yeah, that's... I will say the thing that's coming through loud and clear for me, I do think there's something here with like some kind of like public ridicule or something coming up here for her that's going to kind of make her feel like she needs to shy away if she hasn't already pulled back from the media because of the hurt and stuff from this divorce. But I think there's also something here on the horizon dealing with her career, and I think it's going to be a noteworthy role or something very noteworthy that people are going to, you know, people could applaud her for it or really be like, this seems like the worst role she has taken on thus far. And maybe she's going to take a minute to step back and be like, recalibrate and get herself together. She's probably going to take some much needed time because it kind of feels like maybe she's been going, instead of kind of like slowing down like she needs to. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for Zhao Liying. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. If there's something you could shed light on, please let me know. Because again, this isn't like I get a lot of first-hand news or like I'm over in China and understand everything that's going on here. So maybe you all can even shed some light on some cultural context that I am overlooking or missing here. Let me know if there's something with the cards that I read that popped out that resonates and why, and we can have a discussion about it down in the comment section. If you like this reading, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more readings like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to all so you can see the next time I upload. And with that, I thank you all so much. You have a great night or day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.